You might be a sex worker and not even know it. I have been reading the book, What Men Don't Want Women to Know.
Watching movies, TV shows, and going out to places where there's loud music and lots of stimulus is a great way to avoid actually getting to know you.
You can get publicly shown off for reassurance and still get cheated on. That shit never saved you. And his options don't necessarily decrease or disappear because of it either.
Today, we are going to be exposing all the secrets men do not want women to know. Okay?
Okay, let's go.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome babes. Please do well to subscribe to my channel. Please do subscribe, okay? And turn on your post notifications so that each time I do post, you'll be first to be notified, okay? Thank you. And if you are a returning subscriber, baby, you are welcome back. You are welcome back. So I saw a video of a lady summarizing a book written by two men called Things Men Do Not Want Women to Know. Now, the things that she was saying were in that book. I was like, yeah, we need to react to videos. We need to react to videos of things men do or know, or their secrets that they do not want women to know that have been exposed. So without further ado, let's just get right into these videos, okay? Let's just go.
You might be a sex worker and not even know it. I have been reading the book, What Men Don't Want Women to Know, and I am learning so much about the natural state of unmastered and lustful men. In the book, the authors are stating that men have two basic states of being, loaded and unloaded. When they are unloaded, they are in a state of peace, they are in a state of bliss, they are relaxed and more sensible beings, at least more sensible than usual. But when they are loaded, meaning they have not had their release, they are the most predatory, disgusting individuals, more so than you could fathom to think. And that is where you, an unknowing, naive woman, comes in. So you may be posting your pictures on Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be, in more revealing clothing, unbeknownst to the type of individuals that may come across your page. You may be trying to share a fun moment in your life, not at all catering to the opposite sex. The men that the authors of this book are referencing see these pictures, they take them, they save them, and they get off to them. I'm not here to tell you how to dress. I'm not here to tell you what to post. I've done some damage myself, but I would like to let you know what is actually happening when men are liking those pictures. Not all of them, but there are a select group of them. And I know there is a large population of women that like to judge porn stars, OnlyFans girls, and dancers for their line of work, but they understand the type of business that they are getting themselves into. They know that they are selling their bodies. They are getting paid for that. That is their business. But those of you who post this type of content but are not in any of these professions may be unknowingly engaging in the same type of work. When you post that bikini picture, when you post that extremely provocative outfit, you think everyone you see is just looking at that picture, liking it, and scrolling? No. They are doing very disgusting things with them. This is why we had that period of time where people were screaming at parents on the internet who were posting their children in very suggestive poses, knowing that they were getting thousands of saves by majority men. If you truly want to understand how disgusting men can be, I encourage you to read this book. The PDF is free online, and the authors of this book are two men. So once you understand how the male brain works, it becomes very difficult to see things the same way. Part 2 of What Men Don't Want Women to Know. These next few chapters are explaining how men view women as a whole. And if you didn't already know, this will confirm it for you. Most, not all, men see women as sexual, reproductive, and emotional slaves. In his mind, you are a place for him to become unloaded, you are a baby maker, and you are a comfortable place for him to lay his head and release his burdens for the day. You are not seen as a person that deserves respect because men only reserve that respect for other men. And they do that simply because other men pose a physical threat to them. They understand that we are not physically stronger than them, so there is no reason in their minds for them to respect us. Men will also help other men uphold this double standard, meaning that they will proudly and quickly lie for each other on the spot. So if you are looking for the truth about what your man is doing from his friends or his brothers or his male colleagues, save your breath, because they're not going to tell you unless they want you themselves. In addition to that code of honor that they have with each other, men also have their own internal code of honor, which will basically force them to deny whatever accusations are placed upon them. Even if you have a strong conviction about something, even if you have noticed a pattern that reasonably concludes that something might be true, if you ask certain men directly, they will lie to you. They will deny the truth and hold that lie until they die. This is not all men. There are men who feel conviction and who will admit to things when they've done them. Most of them, though, will not. A lot of women need to understand that closure is not real. If you need to close the door to a relationship, you need to accept the fact that sometimes you might not get all of the facts of what transpired in that relationship. And you need to be okay with that.
Things guys never wanted you to know. This is going to be a bit shocking, so if you have a weak stomach, scroll away. Number 1, watching movies, TV shows, and going out to places where there's loud music and lots of stimulus is a great way to avoid actually getting to know you. Because if we had to talk about things that weren't surface level, you'd realize that I don't actually like you. Number 2, the girl you're worried about is the girl you always should be worried about. You think a man pours his energy into a woman he doesn't care about? Be for real. Number 3, the girl he really likes doesn't spend plenty of time talking about the girls he doesn't like. Really think about that one. Number 4, the less we say, the easier our life is, because we get to allow you to project your feelings onto us. Number 5, our favorite part about apologizing to you is knowing that even if we cross your boundaries again, you don't even have the respect for yourself to do something about it.
Ciao. Okay.
Oh, do you want to hear another absolutely disgusting secret about men that they definitely do not want you to know? And as usual, this is an absolutely foolproof method, so please pay attention and do not tell anybody I told you. This is going to save you so much time. The sooner you stop trying to understand what a man is trying to tell you and just kind of start living your life normally, you will feel 10 times more free, and I'm going to tell you why. Because 9 times out of 10, the man that you're talking to, especially if you're only in a talking stage or a situationship and he's not taking you seriously, there's no actual thought or motivation behind his lack of care for you. It simply does not exist as a single thought in his head. The sooner you understand that about him, the less time you're going to spend wasting thinking about it. If he does not pursue you after a first date, okay, message received. If he only texts you late at night, okay, message received. You've already had the conversation once with him that you would like more from him and he does not follow through. Okay, message received. Bottom line is, men are thoughtful under one condition, and that is when we care about someone. And all the other times that we are thoughtless with individuals, it is because not only do we not care, we're not even thinking about it. So stop wasting your own time worrying.
Things men will never tell women, but are very obvious. You can get publicly shown off for reassurance and still get cheated on. That shit never saved you. And his options don't necessarily decrease or disappear because of it either. Simply because his roster doubles when he does. Some of y'all are thinking that you're obliterating his option panel and leaving your trademark on him. Nah. That does not work for people that find your man just as desirable as you do. Which explains why it makes no sense to love him harder when it truly isn't meant to be. While some of y'all may think your presence is protecting the sanctity of your relationship, it's actually doing the opposite. He knows himself that people want him the most when he's in a relationship. That's when he's the ripest. That's when he's the most perfect for them. As messed up as it sounds, that's when he becomes the most desirable because people want what they can't have. So him being visibly next to you never stopped anything. All it did was make him better at lying to you. And only he's responsible for whether he wants to be branded permanently by you, and you can't do a single thing about that. You can't pull up to his place of work, you can't pull up to his crib, you can't pull up to his boys' night out because all you're going to do is train him on how to lie to you on the spot. He's going to get better at it the more and more that you do it, or if he just doesn't care, he doesn't mind getting caught. So a man in a situationship doesn't feel like he loses when he posts you either. And I hear a lot of, oh my God, he got to this extent and he still got what he wanted. There will always be a person that's willing. He knows the type of woman that he attracts love contests. Now that may not be you, but it's damn sure the ones that are in his phone. Even though you're in his phone, it's strictly about keeping a variety for him. He got one that he barely likes, slightly likes, neglects, only sleeps with, might be wife. But at the end of the day, he has a whole army waiting in his phone anticipating your next slip up. Reassurance never prevented him from ever cheating on you. It just made you more gullible in this case. Because if you had to ask for it, all he's going to do is just show you what you want to see. And that's not hard to do, especially if you want to lie to somebody. All he's going to do is tell you what you want to hear and convince you that you're more happier than you already are, even though your gut is telling you to question the legitimacy of the whole thing. There's a very thin line between reassurance and love bombing, and it can go disguised as reassurance. This is why I consistently advise people all the time and tell people don't push him to, allow him to. Let him do whatever he wants so he can show you what he'd rather be doing. Because if you're with this type of guy and he's the type of guy that doesn't like to lose options, all you're going to do is make his game sharper. You're agitating something that already shouldn't be better, forcing better for somebody that doesn't even want it, especially when he only acts when you speak. Those little euphoric moments where he promises you that he's going to start doing better from here on out, yeah, not necessarily the best thing. Especially if you got to already get fed up just to see it. He'll start doing shit, but it's only temporary and for the sake of shutting you up. At that point, him caring about you has become a task, something that he doesn't even personally enjoy doing. I mean, he never really did, but he doesn't want to lose that kitty cat. And it definitely became a job because they just didn't like you like that. They weren't emotionally invested, but they couldn't let you find that out. He's pretty much been breadcrumbing his whole roster, including you. And the woman that he with are not going to give him a consequence, and he knows this. He picked them out. He exclusively keeps a roster of women around who settle for being placeholder because he knows those are the only type of people that are going to put up with it. Because in reality, the woman that he keeps in his phones and the ones that he see at the club hate you existing more than they actually hate him juggling his options. If you ever had to sit him down and do an intervention, you're doing less for yourself and more for him. Like I said earlier, he'll see your point, but he cares more about losing you as an option than a significant other. All he's going to do is read right through your vulnerability because he realizes that you're the only person trying to rationalize his neglect towards you. You're actually giving him more of a stage to stand on to lie to you more. Especially if you notice prior negative activity already, the last thing you want to do is give him an intervention. You caring too much about him is specifically what got you here in the first place. He knows the sit down is because you care, and he's going to use that to his advantage. He's not oblivious. He sees it. He has you on your knees at that point, both mentally and physically. You think he doesn't, but he does. He's pretending to be Ray Charles. He's taking advantage of it. He knows right from wrong. He just chooses to do wrong. And him being given the benefit of the doubt immediately once he shows you exactly what you want to see, very thin line between love bombing and reassurance. Especially when he reverts back. By you creating an obstacle that prevents him from cheating, that only trains him to cheat, deceive, and neglect smarter.
Before we continue with the video, I would like to humbly ask for your help. Less than 5% of my regular viewers on this channel have subscribed. So that means that most people watch my videos regularly without subscribing. And I'm here to ask for your help. Please, could you hit the subscribe button? My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Thank you so much for your support. And also don't forget to leave a comment, even if it's an emoji. It helps the algorithm to push my videos. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's just continue with the video.
Things men will never tell women, but are very obvious. On certain occasions, men will often pursue women that they're not physically attracted to intentionally, not because of their personality, but because they view them as an objective and challenge. It is primarily the thought of knowing that he wouldn't, which makes him want to. Especially when they notice that she has a boyfriend now or other people find her attractive. Just as certain men pursue women for just being pretty, a good number of them pursue them for the complete opposite reason as well. But you don't usually see them talking about that in front of other women that they find more attractive than her because that would just be frowned upon. For many of them, it's not a proud brag in any sense of the word unless they're around the same group of people that are like-minded. But it's really just a taboo of all of it to him because his feelings are detached before he pursues. And I know many men could have senseless, frivolous bedroom intimacy with miscellaneous women, even the ones that they're not attracted to in general. But this is slightly different though. The fact that he's not attracted to the girl is what turns him on and creates the objective. It's similar to that of when men make a bet to see which guy would do the most revolting thing out of the whole group. Or sleep with the quiet girl who's not that conventionally attractive to their standards, who doesn't speak to anyone. Similar to those bets, but this is almost a bet to himself, or a bet from a prior engagement that he had with a friend recently. A good chunk of the time, this is the man that initiates the group bets on which women should be tagged first that partakes in these endeavors. He, in most cases, is the most active member. On many occasions, it's not the whole group that's on the prowl, but that doesn't dismiss them. They still do it or have done it, they just don't do it as much as he does. Or they grew out of it. It's primarily this man because he often has the experience and tools to know exactly what people want to hear, substantially more than the rest of his friend group. And it's not a mystery that men that tend to orchestrate bets and dares tend to be the most daring themselves. He sees no future with the women that he pursues, so he technically has nothing to lose. He will spit game for the entirety of the night and never lose steam. And if many of his friends lack timing, he has enough time. His homie will probably put his neck on the blade for a girl at the club, and he'll swoop in and look better by default. And there's no animosity between them because it's a pre-established idea that none of these women are to be taken seriously. It'll be one of those, let me show you how it's done type of things while the men are watching from the bleachers. His game don't gotta be impeccably spotless, but by comparison, it's a lot more better than that dumpster fire Riz that you heard prior. It's not uncommon for y'all to get approached by men amongst the same friend group, but I digress. There are moments where these men will put themselves in an ultimatum of sleeping with the woman that they find the most attractive and turn that down to sleep with the woman that they find the least attractive. Not because he views her as a viable option for longevity, but because she is untouched by him. He can be handed the choice to sleep with the woman that's finer in front of him, but he knows that he can, and that's the point. For him, it's what can't I do and what shouldn't I be doing? He has complete control over the situation when it comes to choosing, and personality is not emphasized for either of them in this case. It's similar to those endeavors of when he tells himself she's not attractive enough for me to do certain intimate positions with, or kiss her for long durations of time. She's not good enough to do overtly intimate stuff with, but she's good enough to give up the, you know what I mean? They could pursue her for just the body, but in the event that she's not that attractive to him for him to want that, he'll take the next best thing. It gives him a sense of adventure because he knows that he can't have sunshine without rainy days. Men often talk about this stuff, but it's the percentage of the conversation that women usually dismiss themselves out of. And the men don't usually take notes on what they're saying, so a lot of this stuff is habitually done without notice. It's the similar exit as to when men begin to laugh about their trauma and certain women don't find it humorous, so they exit, but that's how they cope. A man that's exploring his options tends to have urges for a plethora of things, and women that they're not attracted to tend to be on that list, next to what they personally deem as attractive as well. There was no one man that had a roster that had what he considered all 10s on there, at least to him. And even so, many of the 10s that made that roster were still just options. So he ain't taking them seriously currently anyhow, especially if he's in his hot boy summer era. But because he assessed the room first for choosing signs, he's able to satiate his appetite a lot more accessibly. He may just go out on a limb to sleep with who he deems as the most unattractive person on his list. Because she's not what he's accustomed to or worth taking seriously in his eyes, he garners a sense of gratification from knowing that he wouldn't. For him, it's I get off on the idea of knowing that I would typically say no to you. The fact that I would usually reject you is what makes me want to sleep with you. That turns him on in this situation. It doesn't matter if she does more intimately. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be certain things that he's not going to approve intimately with her primarily. It isn't about how nasty you can get. It's the fact that he would never take you seriously after sleeping with you, but now he is sleeping with you. As I said earlier, it is a dare to himself. And lack of attraction is a very subjective thing, but it doesn't take away the existence of this scenario. It's almost similar to when they tread deeply into hub videos that they wouldn't necessarily venture into, and they need their next stimulation to be more intense than their last stimulation. And then they hit that moment of clarity like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I looking at? Why am I here? Because they started off simple to what they're accustomed to and their mind becomes diluted to that, they end on extreme and end up being disgusted by what they're seeing. A good number of them actually end up attempting what they see on video. It's not until they come to their senses that they realize that they've gone too far. He done made a whole future with somebody because he was in the mood at that moment in time.
I'm traumatized. I am traumatized, okay? The things the last guy said, guys, it's more than algebra. It's more than fluid mechanics. It's more than engineering mathematics. I thought they said women were the complicated ones. I thought we were the emotional, complicated ones. So difficult to understand. I thought we were the difficult ones, the complicated ones. I don't think women do all these things. Like, what? Let me catch my words, okay? Let me catch my words. I'll be back. So I had to breathe in and breathe out. But now I'm better, so let's continue. So the very first part of the video, when the lady was giving the summary of the book, What Men Do Not Want Women to Know, what she said about the dressing part, it's not very new to me, because like I thought it was common sense. Like if you're posting bikini photos on social media for people, strangers that you have no idea of, you have no idea they exist, to like and to view and to zoom and to screenshot and to save. Girl, if those same men come into your room and you are in your underwear, you'll be so uncomfortable. You'll be like, oh, please leave the room, leave the room, leave the room. But you're so comfortable putting this on social media. They are creeps. Like I always say on my channel, there are creeps. Don't think that everybody is cute, like, oh, that even that your friend, that your male friend that is so cool with you, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but some of them, not all of them, okay, because they are God-fearing men, okay, they are God-fearing, sensible men who have, you know, with the help of God and the Holy Spirit, they've been able to tame that side of them. But majority, okay, don't have good thoughts. That video you are posting, you are jiggling things, and you are, girl, people are using it to do nasty things, and nobody's policing you that, oh, don't wear what you want to wear. I would tell you, please try to cover up. And the painful thing is, even the people who are covered up are not exempted from this situation, but at least it reduces the risk of someone obsessing over you so much. Because imagine someone always comes to your page and your pictures that you are taking, to them is like something that they are going to use to, you know, do those nasty weird things. I don't know if you'll be comfortable knowing that this is what your images are used for. So yeah, please, you might be doing SCX work without you even knowing, for free. So beware of that. But the other things that the men were saying, you can be shown off, all these things, it's crazy. You can be shown off and they don't care about you, and they can even show you off because they want other women to see that they are so desirable, and so someone desires them, and so they will get more ladies on their roster. It is complicated out here. It is messy out here, okay? It is messy. This dating pool is full of piss. It's full of pee. It's full of urine. Okay? It's full of trash also, and it's full of poop. So it's scary out here. Like, these are the things men do not want you to know. If you're a man, in the comment section, if you like to do us the honors, let us know things that were probably not mentioned that you would want women to be wary of. And women, please let me know what you think about these things. Like, let me know what your thought process is. Like, I really want to know if you have experiences with people like this, or I just want to know, okay? I just want to know. I'm doing these videos because I want a community of women that will share ideas, and we learn and unlearn so many things, okay? So if you have any prior knowledge about these type of things, please let us know in the comment section, and we really do appreciate. YouTube thinks you would like this video or this video, so please do binge watch all my videos. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, my loves, God loves you and I love you. Bye bye. Mwah.